On the 7th of July 1937, a confrontation between Japanese and Chinese troops near the Wanping Fortress, just 10.2 miles or 16.4 kilometers from Beijing, escalated into armed conflict. The trigger was a missing Japanese soldier, Private Shimura Kikujiro, who led Japanese forces to demand entry into Wanping, which was refused. Fighting broke out at 4:50 a.m. the following morning, July the 8th, with Chinese Colonel Yi Xingwen ordering the defense of Marco Polo Bridge. This incident marked the official beginning of the Second Sino-Japanese War, which would later merge into the wider conflict of World War II in Asia. Over in the Middle East, the Peel Commission report was published. Headed by Viscount Peel, the British Peel Commission recommended ending the British Mandate, partitioning Palestine into a Jewish state, primarily coastal areas and northern Galilee, an Arab state fused with Transjordan, and a British-controlled corridor from Jerusalem to the Mediterranean. The Arab response to this was a strong rejection, particularly because of the Jewish designated areas and their relative economic prosperity. The Arab Higher Committee demanded immediate independence and an end to Jewish immigration. Some Arab moderates proposed a unitary state with minority rights, but this was not adopted. So it's pretty interesting to see that even in that time there was already a resistance to Jewish migration, even though Israel would not become a nation until 1946, which at this point is 9 years from now, and there will be a lot of dead Jews in between then and now. The Jewish response was deeply divided. David Ben-Gurion and some moderates supported the plan pragmatically, but many Zionists rejected it, especially radical Zionists. This division would be clear at the Zionist Congress in Zurich later in 1937. The militant group Irgun began organizing an independent Jewish military response. It's a very basic analysis, or not even an analysis, it's just a description of the Peel Commission. No analysis involved. Anyway, then finally over in the United States, the American League defeated the National League with a score of 8-3 in the 5th MLB All-Star Game held at Griffith Stadium in Washington, D.C. That's it for the facts today. The average temperature in Berlin was 20.7 degrees, and we are returning to the front, where today it's pretty interesting because we have these new volunteers that arrived, and they're going to start moving towards the Steiners division over here, which is taking heavy fire from Soviet Panzer. Yes, indeed. So they're going to need some reinforcements. Let's hope that these guys are able to move swiftly. They are doing strategic redeployment, but it doesn't look like they're moving all too quick. It's actually probably going to take a couple days for them to arrive. They did like 4 tiles in a day so far. They're going to get like here or here maybe. Although they're moving through mountains now, so that might slow them down. I don't know. We are also starting to lose over here. And I think that is because the Spanish actually pulled out of the battle. Meanwhile, our Panzer is still 15 hours away from this tile. But once we reach this tile, these 2 units will be completely encircled. And then we may have some fun with them. Let's hope the Spanish here recover organization quickly so that they can rejoin the fight. Turn this bubble green again. It's not the best situation we've been in here, but I think with these reinforcements we'll be able to make it work. All right, that all being said, we're still 20 days away from our next focus, and we are still 6 days away, only 6 days away actually from our next technology, Dispersed Industry 2, after which I'm not entirely sure what we'll do actually. I'm really starting to look at these fuel technologies more and more. But there are other options. These ones are getting pretty close. We could get paratroopers. We could get the next radio a bit early. That would be nice. Yeah, there's options. Anyway, that's it for today, and I will see you tomorrow.